Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on AM 950 KOEL. Harvest is in full swing, and joining us today, Tim Dillon from DuPont Pioneer with you from the word go. Tim's going to fill us in on how things are going throughout the northeast Iowa portion of our listening area. Hey, Tim, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me again, Liz. Always appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, we love having you guys on the air and telling us how things are going out and about. I saw a lot of activity over the weekend, and I'm sure with the beautiful weather we have coming up this week, there's going to be a lot of field activity. So first and foremost, everyone be on the alert and make sure you're keeping your eyes on the road and the slow-moving vehicles in front of you, beside you, behind you, all around you. And then also the extra activity of the deer and things that'll be moving in those fields. Well, Tim, let's get started with how things look out there in the fields. How are things going?
Well, I would say, we've got a good portion of the soybeans are actually harvested. Obviously, the further south you go, it's almost getting to the point where you notice a field of beans that are still in the field unharvested. As you move north up to Highway 3 and further north, it's still more common to see bean fields to go yet. But what has been harvested, pretty happy with the results. I'll be the first to admit, plot season time, the late August, early September, I was in the camp that pretty concerned about what our soybeans were going to be. Number one ingredient we always talk about for good soybean yields is rain in August, and much of our area was on the low side of rain in August. And with that in mind, I would say most guys are pleasantly surprised with the soybean yield. In general, good seed size, and that's where we get a lot of these bushels for a bushel up. General, like I say, we've had good yields on the soybeans. A couple highlights I would like to point out would be Pioneer P22 T73R. That's a 2-2 maturity variety that has done very well for us the last couple years, and really sticking to that again this year with winning a lot of plots and side by side. It's just been a great bean for us, especially on that early side. More and more guys are kind of wanting to have that early maturity, give them that early harvest option, and when you can have the bushels behind it, it just makes sense. Another one to highlight, I guess, would be P25A70R. That's a new 2.5 maturity soybean. We didn't have as much supply of that this year for the 2017 growing season, but we had enough of it out to get good looks in, whole farm fields, not just in plots. And again, very, very happy with the yield levels we're seeing out of that. Again, topping a lot of the plots and the majority of the side-by-side that variety has been in. We, kind of highlighted two of our glyphosate-only soybeans there. We do have a good selection of Roundup Ready to Extend, as well as Liberty Link, and the non-GMO varieties. We've got whatever the purchaser wants to look at, we've got an option for them in every platform. I would say that, our biggest supply is in the glyphosate only, but we do have good supplies of those other platforms. If guys are interested, I'd ask them to reach out to their local Pioneer rep, or can always go to www.pioneer.com for more information.
And of course, like you said, you featured just a few of the seed options that are out there as we're looking forward, I guess, harvesting 2017, but looking forward to what we're going to plant for 2018. And things are really going well. A lot of numbers already coming in. I don't have the numbers. I'm not going to give them because I don't want to misquote. But they are looking well. And as far as moisture content in the field and out of the field, I know the rains kind of slowed some things down, and some of our farmers didn't get into the fields quite when they wanted to, had to slow up a little bit. But we're always appreciative of the rain that we do get. Have you had any complaints, Tim, about any disease that's affecting their production this year, or any counter to the numbers from that point of view?
Well, in general, we had a low disease and low insect pressure year. There's always some isolated situations, but in general, as I mentioned earlier, we had a pretty dry August, and that really kept sudden death syndrome in check. Didn't develop like it could. There are a few fields that have some white mold in them, but again, I wouldn't say there's, a large spread situation with much disease or insect pressure this year. It's really been quite a surprising year to be low on the moisture in August and pull the yields that we've been seeing out. As far as harvest moistures, as you mentioned, I've seen, as low as 8.5% moisture right up to 16%, at harvest, depending on when you guys were able to get into the field and these rain events. The most recent rain event actually, added some moisture back into the beans, and some guys were looking for that to, nobody likes sending, 8-9% beans or harvesting those. They like to have them up in the, that 12 to 13 range is ideal. Get a little more weight, a little more seed size, and minimize harvest loss.
Well, it sounds like we've really been blessed with, like you said, low infestation, low disease numbers, and really higher than expected yields. I don't think that we could ask for much more in a unpredictable season as we've had.
I would agree totally. It's been a surprising year as far as results coming in with all things considered, but that does speak quite a bit for the advancements we've made in soybean breeding and the genetics, and in general, that we're doing more with less as far as what Mother Nature ends up giving us for the year.
Well, we hope that continues. So let's flip sides. And how are things going as far as cornfields? Not as many cornfields are being emptied yet, but I do have a feeling once a lot of these bean heads are off for our farmers, it won't be long, and those corn heads will be on, and that corn will be coming out of the field too.
You bet. We've already seen, a good amount of corn coming in, and again, early results have been, very good. Not quite as surprising, to be honest, because really the corn crop relies heavily on good July moisture and weather for after pollination there to put the bushels in the tank for us. So we were optimistic on corn yields, even though we had a dry August. I think that guys have been seeing pretty darn good yields, and again, the moisture levels are very acceptable for early October here, and had some guys starting in late September even. Harvest moistures in a lot of cases are in the low 20s or drier. It's the further south you go, like the Highway 20 corridor. As you get up to Highway 3, that corridor, in the low 20s for the early planted, early maturing hybrids. And granted, as we go north, we still that changes quite a bit. But in general, early side here, but seeing some great results from some of our products. Just highlight, the family of P0157. We've got that in many platforms, from a non-GMO glyphosate tolerance, double stack, and the triple stack as well. And in every platform there, every trait package, seeing excellent results again on that one. Really like the dry down of that and the yield potential. But as you move forward in the, like 105 day, really excited about P0589 family. Again, we've got that in a couple different options and trait packages, but really happy with the early results of that we've been seeing. Another new one to keep an eye out is P0574. Again, available in double and triple. We've got some options there. And then really a highlight, again, would be the full season, the P1197 family. Excellent results, excellent agronomics, and stock strength and all those things. We're seeing some great things coming out of that family as well. So really excited about what we've been seeing. Look forward to 2018 and work with guys to get their orders in early, because as the old saying goes, buy now, buy early.
Again, Tim Dillon joining us from DuPont Pioneer. You can check out the results, find out more about information for harvesting in 2017, and then, of course, planting for 2018 and planning ahead by going online to Pioneer.com. Pioneer, with you from the word go.